which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Greg, if you would, please. Roll call.
Covert?
Here.
Crowner?
Here.
Here. Lees?
Here.
Young?
Here.
All present, Your Honor.
Thank you. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So move.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Second, which is the consent agenda.
Motion approved is presented.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed, motion carries. Okay. We'll move into our council and staff reports.
Just a couple quick things, Your Honor. On the 24th, we're going to have a bunch of folks down. We're going to do an educational session. We're working with the University of Iowa, Iowa State University, the, pollinator folks as well, who we just received the grant from for additional plants and seeds. And we'll be looking for volunteers as well to work out at the prairie and get that going. We've had several hundred plantings done here recently. And if you haven't seen it, it's a cool video that Sam Hollingsworth did on our Facebook page that we shared, kind of explaining some of the micro prairies. So I encourage you to check it out. Working on Trees Forever grant, met with Lisa Locke today, our local IDNR forester. So we'll have that submitted by November 1st. Budget classes, I'll send it out with a weekly update, but budget workshops are coming up for those that may be interested in November. I'll send that out. If you should also get it in your emails from the league as well, but I'll make sure you've got a copy of it on here as well. We've already started the budget process, and I did receive a call. Are you familiar with the National League of Cities Service Line Warranty Program for residents, where they can purchase insurance for their sewer, water lines, internal lines as well? It's been going on for a number of years. They'd like to bring it to West Burlington. We approve anything that goes out to the community. The city can either receive a fee or forego that fee, which is small, and the residents get are able to purchase the warranty or the service line warranty program at a reduced cost if we don't choose to do anything. So I'll have more information for you on that. There's a couple hundred cities in the state that are participating in the program, and so that will be coming forward here in the short term. That's all for tonight, Your Honor.
Thank you. Public Works.
Last week we replaced 3 hydrants on Van Wees, and this week we're just starting to flush hydrants. So we started that today, and we'll be going on till probably Friday. Then after that we'll be fixing whatever we find that's broke, or oiling the hydrants, or whatever we need to do. And they're also started sewer jetting on Monday. We have a list of any problem ones that we've had in the past. We were putting door knockers on the houses the day before. We're there to give them a heads up that we're coming through. And then we just started using the sewer camera for the first time this week, and it went pretty well, and I think it'll be a good investment. So.
And then on the 20th, Monday the 20th, is that when we start leaf pickup in the bags at curbside?
Yep, next Monday. And I think that goes for about a month or maybe a little longer, but yep.
I know that's something that a lot of citizens aren't fully aware of, but
Yep.
yes, yeah, I put my bags out for you.
We come through Monday morning and pick them up, so.
Have them there by 7 a.m.
Yep.
Thank you.
So the camera, can you actually see cracks and stuff in the pipes, or what?
It runs down, and you can see it's a really clear picture. It has a light on the camera, and it can go up to 1,000 feet through a pipe. We only have had it at 500, but it went well. Still got more to learn on it, but picture's good. And then essentially you take it off, you take the video, and then save it, and then you can put it on GIS. So then whenever you go on to GIS, you can click your manhole that you videoed, and you can pull up the video, so.
If you haven't seen it before, I'd encourage you to coordinate with myself or Chase and check it out when they're doing it. It's pretty cool. I even had a federal legislator ask to check it out one time, and so we showed him our sewers. But, and savings as well.
Yeah, and I think we I mean, just from the amount that we've used it this week, our bill probably wouldn't have been close to $2,000 in usage if we went to someone else, so that shows you how much, just 2 days, so.
Okay, thank you. Jesse?
I just got a couple things. We'll be over at Heartland Harley-Davidson on October 25th in the afternoon for their trunk or treat that they have had over there for the last couple of years. So the fire department will be over there for that. And just remind the citizens that on Halloween night out here in West Burlington, there'll be a lot of kids out walking around, and we just want you to drive careful and be cautious of everybody out walking on that evening out here in West Burlington.
Jesse, what time is that on
We were discussing that. I think it's 5 to 7 or 5:30 to 7:30. We'll get that it'll be posted on Facebook, but it's around that time.
On our website, it does say 5:30 to 7:30.
That's what I thought. So 5:30 to 7:30 on October 31st, which is a Friday this year, so it's going to be probably a pretty busy night. A lot of kids out.
Wear your snow boots.
Possible. Or you can have your t-shirt on. Never know.
Never know. Seeing no other staff members that are here for reports, I'll move on to council reports.
I have nothing, Your Honor.
Okay. Andy?
I just wanted to make a comment about the service line warranty. When I'm selling a house, that's probably the biggest expense that we run into is if there's a service line issue. So I'd like to see us pursue that and see if it's something worthwhile to offer to citizens, especially if the water gets shut off in town. Those lines are a lot of times old, and if you crank them off and crank them back on, we break them a lot, and then that's on the homeowner to pay for. So it's a big part of my job, making sure the water never gets turned off because of that issue. So I'd like to see us pursue that. Thank you.
John?
I don't have anything on there.
Okay.
No, I don't either.
All right. Melanie?
Yeah, just this Saturday, October 18th, is the Alzheimer's Walk in West Burlington, based out of the mall. So we will depart from the mall at 10 a.m. and be walking around West Burlington. And prior to that, we'll have kind of a kickoff celebration and encourage anybody who supports Alzheimer research and their funding to join a team or come out and support us on Saturday morning at the mall. Thank you.
Okay. I just want to say thank you to the Streets Department for what they've done to get our water back on after our problems. So, again, I saw them working quite late that evening, and I know they started their day early. So I appreciate the work that they put in all the time.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on to any citizen inquiries. Not, then I will move into new business. We're considering a resolution awarding a contract for the Mall Road HMA overlay project.
Motion to approve Norris Asphalt Paving Company.
Support.
Motion and support. Discussion?
Oh, I had a question. Is in the contract of what they propose starting in the fall, what's the timeline?
I think that was proposed starting date. We'll meet with the contractor and look at that. They did ask if they could start yet this year, so they are looking to see if they couldn't get that done yet this year in their work calendar. So we'll be meeting with the contractor, and I'll fill you in as soon as I know what they're thinking. So
Thank you.
Okay, no further discussion. A call for roll call vote.
Oh, sorry, Your Honor. Let's see, Covert?
Aye.
Crowner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Lees?
Aye.
Young?
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll go to number 2, which is consider a resolution hiring a police officer.
Motion approved.
Support.
Motion and support. Any discussion? If not, then
I believe this puts us full staff now?
After number 3, it will put us full staff.
Full staff, okay.
Yes.
any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Covert,
Aye.
Crowner,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Lees,
Aye.
and Young.
Aye.
Motion carries. Consider resolution hiring a police officer for number 3.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion second. This would-
Paige is out there in today. She's coming from Burlington Police Department. Been on for 26 months down there. And she came to me back in early October, right before our closing of our applications, and she said she was interested, so filled out an application and turned it in that day, and happy to have her along with us.
Are you Mrs. Kay's granddaughter? I am. Great lady, spent many a times on a corner with her. Crossing guard.
Crossing guard, yes.
The elementary.
Thanks for the explanation.
have that
That clarification.
clarification.
Thank you for that clarification.
Please tell her I said hi, would you? Thank you.
Welcome, we're glad to have you.
Yes.
All right, roll call, please.
Sorry, Councilmember Covert,
Aye.
Crowner,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Lees,
Aye.
and Young.
Aye.
Motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you, Paige.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go to number 4, consider the options related to Long Meadow Water Main Replacement Project.
So there's 4 different options, and one is, or the hard surfaced alley is just from Long Meadow until the end of the alley in Pat Klein Park. And then the hard surface would be from Long Meadow all the way to Van Wees. If that makes sense. And then the trenchless and open cut would be, the price difference would be between boring or digging it all out. So
I think the first question, though, is, do we want to stick within the current alley width, or are we interested in taking it all the way to Van Wees? We have right-of-way to do that, or do you want to keep it as a dead-end alley there? So that would be question number 1, and then there's the cost difference between boring and open cut would be question number 2. Now, that said, we could probably do bid alternates with our engineer for bid for boring and open cut. But, so probably the main question is, do we want to end at where it currently ends on the south side of the alley, or are you interested in taking that all the way through to Van Wees? Because we do have the right-of-way sufficient enough to do that. So now that would be some additional cost there, obviously, for extending that roadway out there in the short term, and then we'd probably budget or plan to have them come in and seal coat that the next time around. But that's probably the biggest question that we need to know the answer to.
yeah.
I think I want to go look at that and see what we're talking, really, because
Yeah. Same here.
yeah, I'm not for sure.
Greg, what do you see would be the benefit of doing the entire alley or taking all the way to Van Wees? Or what's anybody see as a benefit?
Benefit is simply access, but it's also going to make it more of a thoroughfare through there adjacent to the park. So I see pros and cons, I guess, to doing it both ways. We talked about it, I think, during the budget time, of whether or not we really wanted to extend it out that all the way to the south. I think it might have been a little bit longer ago. I think Mike brought it up earlier,
Yes.
and whether we wanted to continue on through there and make it bring it all the way through. But it will bring additional traffic, obviously, as a cut through adjacent to Pat Klein Park
Yeah.
on the west side.
Side, gotcha. Yeah, I'm not, no, I've discussed this with anyone, and I haven't heard a benefit to doing that. Are we trying to solve a problem by extending it or not?
We do
If
have-
we're not,
We do have utilities through there at present, so it would make access for the utilities and repair in the future easier. I don't know that we have a strong opinion one way or the other, but unless there was some interest in bringing it to Van Wees, I'd probably keep it the same, unless there was a strong interest in bringing it all the way south to Van Wees.
Currently, does the alley end at the apartment complex?
Yep, and there's a garage right there, right at the end of the alley.
Oh, on our right of way?
No. Nope.
And then my other question is, why would we go from a 12-inch to an 8-inch?
From my understanding, that line used to feed the old water tower, and now it doesn't. So there's no need for a 12-inch line, and 8-inch is
Typical
significantly
residential line.
cheaper. And that, we have mostly 6 or 8-inch everywhere else, so.
I want to make sure I'm understanding something about just the water line itself. Does the water line stop at the end of the surfaced alley? And then there's another water line that goes back behind for the other home?
It's all one water line that goes all the way across and it's all ductile, old pipe. But the section that goes under the alley is where we've had the most problems.
Okay.
So that's,
And can we do the whole length without doing a hard surface alley on it, on the second part? Like still do a new line, but not do the
yes,
alley?
you could still do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because to me, that would make sense.
That would make sense.
Even though we haven't had problems, I mean, if we're already in there digging and got it tore up,
Yep.
It's already roughly 200,000 is what we have budgeted, not that, we obviously haven't taken bids yet, engineering costs, but bids could easily be put together to do that, and then bid alternate for either open or boring, so.
and then I was under the impression, just from previous conversations of sewer issues and things in that area, that trenching that was not gonna be
Well,
very easy.
we walked it, and the trenching price is obviously lower. I'd recommend the boring myself, just because it's a lot less of a mess. But we walked it with Snyder, and they seem to think it would be possible to trench it, but that's also without calling locates in, so.
But especially if we're looking to go a little bit further, I think it may be a benefit in having the bid alternate for both options then.
But trenching it would be just fine, wouldn't it? I mean, what's the benefit of boring versus trenching when it's wide open?
Well-
You're not disturbing the road.
And so, you're not gonna have to tear up the whole alley, and there's also a sewer right there. And whatever else is in the alley with gas and,
You don't have to worry about it settling either as much, a little period of
Right.
time for that, don't you?
if they bore it, they only dig up where the services go, and it's only a real small hole. So once they're done, you can normally hardly tell they've been there.
Chase, when they're referring on the quote to trenchless installation, that's the same as saying boring, correct?
Correct, yep.
Thank you.
I heard down at Keokuk, they're doing a bunch of boring and there's starting to be lines that, they bored through that's starting to show up now that they bored halfway through those lines and it's becoming a real mess, you
Yeah.
know. To, just,
That's for like fiber and stuff, you're saying?
they're putting in fiber and they're going through utility stuff. And you don't notice it right away. That's the problem.
The water line should all be significantly deeper than all the, like, fiber and gas lines, so that would be a plus for that, so.
At one point in time,
I want to go look at this.
weren't we having sewer issues 7 or 8 houses in from down that alley, almost halfway down that alley, weren't we having sewer issues?
I don't know, in long term, I know recently there was a house with a service issue.
It was on their side.
Yeah, but I can't tell you in the long term, but I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
I can find out, though.
If that was on their side, that might have been probably the same thing.
So can this wait till next meeting?
Yeah. Go out, take a look at it. I mean, did you have any conversations with Snyder about getting it out or timing wise?
I just, as soon as we got
As we
direction,
can,
yeah.
Right, so,
It sounds like people might be in favor of doing the entire length of our right-of-way. So that would be something that you might want to put into that.
or just go take a look at it.
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay, with that, then let's move on to item number 5. Excuse me. Consider a resolution authorizing an internal advance of $6,500 for professional engineering fees to fund the Mall Road 2-inch overlay project that is located within the city's urban renewal area project costs.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on this?
Your Honor,
Yes.
items 5 through 8 are simply the annual resolutions that we do to create debt so that we can collect the TIF on each of those items. And I apologize, who made the motion in the second?
I made
Thank
the
you.
motion.
Second.
Okay. Considering these are just,
Resolution.
I do have to have a voice vote.
Roll call, yes. Roll call.
Roll call, I'm sorry.
Councilmember Covert.
Aye.
Crowner.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Lees.
Aye.
Young.
Aye.
Motion carries. Then we'll look at number 6. Consider resolution authorizing an internal advance of $706 for legal fees related to the Mall Road 2-inch overlay project.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Support.
Motion and support. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Covert.
Aye.
Crowner.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Lees.
Aye.
Young.
Aye.
Motion carries. Go to number 7. Consider a resolution authorizing an internal advance of $1,474 for professional service fees and related costs associated with funding assistance for the proposed agency trail project.
Motion approved.
Motion to approve. Support.
Motion and support. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Covert.
Aye.
Crowner.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Lees.
Aye.
Young.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Consider resolution authorizing an internal loan for $3,500 associated with updating the Greater Burlington Partnership Economic Development Agreement.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion and support. All in favor signify, sorry. Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Covert.
Aye.
Crowner.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Lees.
Aye.
Young.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, consider a resolution authorizing the sale of surplus equipment.
Motion approved.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion and support. All right. Any
Chase, do you have any idea what these will bring?
I should have put on here, the backhoe we have in for trade-in, and they were given $30,000 for that. I have no idea what the international dump truck or the snow blower, I can't imagine will probably bring a whole lot, and the dump truck, I'm guessing probably, I don't know. They were only gonna give $4,000 for trade-in, so, for the dump truck. So I'm not sure what it'll get on GovDOT.
Thank you.
Yep.
No further discussion. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Covert.
Aye.
Crowner.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Lees.
Aye.
And Young.
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 10, approve the purchase of playground equipment for Pat Klein and Lures Park from PlayPro.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second.
Just to be clear, because there's another quote, I think, from the last time. That's
Yeah, I was waiting on this other one, and it came in a little lower, and they're pretty comparable, so,
So for the 18,800.
yep, correct.
No further discussion?
Quick point, Your Honor. As we go through this process of replacement, all of those were done at the same time under one grant and purchased from Landscape Structures, if I recall correctly.
Mostly,
So if we're able to reutilize some of the playground equipment rather than replace it, we'll have, most likely want to be doing a sole source. For example, we wouldn't have to replace the poles, but we'll be able to interchange with new equipment and paint, et cetera. If we're replacing the entire structure, it's easier to get alternate bids. But on some of those structures, I think we may be able to swap out pieces here and there and improve the structure itself without having to, if you go to a different vendor, you're probably going to be swapping out poles as well. So it keeps our costs down, so.
No further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 No opposing, so therefore that is approved. We go to our last point here, which is the city administrator discussion of the 2026-27 TIF requests.
Yes, Your Honor. So an issue has come up. Obviously, we've had several discussions on TIF, and we're getting ready to do our annual TIF request or renewal report. It's pretty much ready to go. Have discussions with the county, bond council, and Spear Financial. As you may recall, we initially it started with the hospital. We had to try to collect additional TIF the following year because we didn't receive all of that TIF because of the tax issue. And then the county, when it was collected, the county wasn't able to collect it all because it was allocated towards one area rather than having it allocated across the county. So we have an additional amount of TIF that we don't need to certify because the debt's already been certified, but we need to determine how, over what period of time we'd like to collect it. And the reason we need to do that is because the more we collect per year, the more impact it will have on our general fund. So to give you an idea, if we were to collect all $956,000, it could affect our general fund without a growth in valuation of about $300,000. If you split it up over 4 years, it'd be an impact of about $79,672 per year. So we could split it up, over 1, 2, 3, 4 years to try to reduce the impact, or we could collect it in 1 year and get it over with, which is kind of where I was leaning.
Do you have to spend it that year?
We're collecting past years' TIF that should have already been collected to pay
But
debt.
if we collect it, do we have to spend it that year?
No, it'll get allocated towards those programs it was previously allocated to, so it'll depend on the program that it was allocated to. That said, I had thought of one other alternative, and that, for our general fund, for example, would obviously have an impact. However, we could do an internal loan and then pay that internal loan back. For example, use local option sales tax as an internal loan and just get it over with in 1 year and be done with it and move on, and get those funds back to us as quickly as possible. Or we could spread it out over a couple of years. We're going to have to, as part of that TIF report we submit or request, and the urban renewal report to the state and the TIF to the county, we're going to have that number decided and over what, or how, not the number, excuse me, but the term of years, 1, 2, 3, or 4. And we don't obviously have much time, so this issue has kind of just come up. Originally, we were planning on just collecting it and being done with it, but it will affect our general fund, and it will affect other general funds as well, depending on where those funds or the district and area that it's coming out of. So it could impact the school's general fund, for example, or the county's general fund as well. So I was hoping to try to get it big numbers, I know, but trying to get an indication of what you think you'd like to do, to try to do that as quickly as possible, get it over with and done with, and then we can just move on. Or if you want to try to do it over 2 or 3 years and try to reduce that impact on ourselves and perhaps others as well.
So what do you think the downside is of doing it over, 3 or 4 years?
Well, we should have already had the funds
Yeah.
and been able to utilize those funds. So we're just pushing it out over 3 years now. And what happens between year 1 and year 3, whether with the state legislature or with the county or with whomever, people change. So, I'd feel better if we had those funds in hand. That said, there is an impact that, we will have and potentially others as well.
So it would spike our general fund for 1 year.
No, it would take away from the general fund about $300,000. But we could do something like an internal loan between another fund to offset those costs so that we don't see the impact in the general fund. So we could certainly do something like that to offset those costs. But if we did it over 4 years without it, growth and valuation, we're talking about almost $80,000. So there's a big difference on how that would impact others. So this is something that we're in through no fault of our own, but through others. So originally I was hoping to collect it all in 1 year, but this isn't, I'd like to get some input from council before we put that paperwork together, or it's coming here pretty quickly because that has to be submitted this next month.
And your concern
Is it November or October?
Yes.
Without knowing all the numbers and
Those are,
effects.
there are no other numbers.
So
I can only,
it
and I
will
only
be
can,
80,000?
I'm sorry?
So it will be 80,000 a year?
It'd be, without an increase in valuation, which I can't tell you if we're gonna have an increase in valuation, if you did it over 4 years, it'd be roughly $80,000 that it would impact our general fund. If you did it all in 1 year, it'd probably be about $300,000 that it would impact our general fund. Decrease in general fund revenue.
And our biggest concern is that if we don't take it, this is why you would rather take it all one time, is that legislation may change or something may change where they could.
People that we're working with, I'd hate to get into, maybe the next person that you're working with isn't as easy to work with, but it could impact, for example, the schools. But more likely, since they're reimbursed by the state by TIF, they'll see less of an impact. However, the state would see a substantial increase in what they would have to reimburse the school district for example. The county would be impacted as well.
Would a 2-year be a little bit better than a 1 year?
I think it'd be shorter. I'd rather try to collect it all at once, but I understand the impact, and it's easier to work with over shorter term. I mean, if we did, 2 years to try to bring it down, some, it'd be easier probably for everybody to deal with, but impact would show less, but,
Have you had a conversation with anybody at the school or the county? As a heads up?
the county was, they just wanted to point out that the potential impact, that it would have on our general fund, which obviously, we're certainly aware of it, but, it could certainly impact theirs as well. Never had to do this before. Never seen this issue come up before, so.
Am I allowed to ask a question?
Sure.
So if we
sorry.
could take that internal loan to protect ourselves, and the county could, is there anything that the school has to protect themselves if we were to make this decision?
They're reimbursed from the state for their, on the TIF side, so the state would see a larger reimbursement to the school district. But it might make it stand out.
It just affects them, so before they made a decision, I just wanted to know. Thank you.
And I can haven't had a chance to talk to Jason, but I can certainly talk to Jason. I don't think there's any other factors that would benefit them, but this is a question that's risen here rather to the top relatively quickly. Do you have any just kind of initial thoughts, or that's really, I guess, what I'm looking for tonight? I'm kind of throwing this at you because I know it's been on our radar with budget and with the hospital taxation issue, but it's kind of coming to a head here. We need to collect what's owed the city, but it's kind of coming due all here ASAP.
So you need a decision by tonight, or you need a decision by the next time we have the next meeting?
Well, we need it for the paperwork for next session, so
I'm leaning towards what Greg's recommending myself. That's my feeling, my gut feeling is.
I would 100% be asking to spread this out if it was not for the state looking to make so many drastic changes to the property tax side of this equation and possibly TIF as well. And so I honestly feel the responsible thing would be to do it over multiple years, but when you take the state as a factor on this, I think you have to do it in 1 year.
That's one of my bigger concerns. Mm-hmm. Even though this is not anything that the city could have avoided.
I could go either way. Is the state going to mess with that?
TIF, property taxes and TIF are on the agenda every year.
Oh, they are?
Yep.
They had a sweeping bill that did not get out of committee because frankly, I don't think anybody on the committee knew what they were talking about watching those. And even the people in the room that were lobbying one side or the other didn't know which way to vote because they didn't understand the bill. So that was shelved and they're going back to the drawing board, but this is on the docket to talk about. So,
Oh, then, that I didn't know.
yeah.
I don't think I'm ready to make a decision of this nature tonight. I want some more information and
Not sure, there's a whole lot more
over.
I can give you, but it's kind of it's an unfortunate position that we have been placed in, or put in, so. But
Melanie, do you want to?
Maggie will be on our next agenda. I think we were planning to try to get this approved at that meeting. We don't have to have it approved at that meeting. I'll talk to Angie when she gets back. Maggie be able to give more information. You know, she's probably got the same response that you would have, is ideally you'd try to spread it over 3 or 4 years and reduce the impact. But my concern is if we could, I'd rather just collect it and be done with it and move on.
Mm-hmm. I have 2 comments. One, as a courtesy to the school district, to me, it's worth the call that we're considering one or the other.
Yep.
And if there's overwhelming reason to do it one way or the other, I'd like that input. If, as a courtesy, and it may not come into play too, I'd rather spread it out, yet the uncertainty of the future is what causes me to say, pull the Band-Aid off fast, let's knock it out. So I'm firmly on the fence. I'm looking forward to Maggie speaking next time, and we'll figure to go from there.
I'll give her a heads up.
But, yeah, thanks.
I'll give her a heads up. These numbers came from Maggie that I was reading off here just now, so she's certainly familiar with it, and that would be her recommendation, but she also understands our position, as do our bond counsel. And I wanted to talk to both of them before I really took it any further.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You bring such wonderful news. Thank you.
Citizen inquiries, no. We don't need this closed session, so I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support.
Motion and support, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
You are adjourned.
Thank you.